Today, we're jumping right into the world of consumer rights, and we're going to look at two really powerful legal shields that protect all of us from, well, dodgy deals and unfair business tactics.
So, have you ever seen one of those massive sales and just gotten a weird feeling about it? You see a huge discount, but some little part of your brain is asking, wait a second, was that the real price to begin with? That exact suspicion, that's our starting point.
And here's the good news. That gut feeling you have, it's actually backed up by some serious legal muscle. Every Australian has a powerful shield in the marketplace, and it's called the Australian Consumer Law, or the ACL. All right, so let's get into our first big idea. We're calling it the fake discount trap, which is a pretty good description. But in the legal world, it's known as misleading and deceptive conduct.
So what does that actually mean? Well, in plain English, it's any time a business does something that creates a totally false impression. This could be about anything: the price, how good a product is, what's in a contract. It's really all about the illusion they're trying to sell you. And there's no better way to understand this than with a real-world example. A pretty recent one, actually. It's the big consumer watchdog, the ACCC, taking on the massive online retailer, Kogan.
So here's what was going on, and it's pretty cheeky, honestly. The ACCC discovered that right before Kogan launched a big 10% off sale, they quietly jacked up the prices on hundreds of their products. So when that discount was applied, guess what? A lot of people ended up paying the exact same price as before the sale, and in some cases, they actually paid more.
And the court's finding here really cuts straight to the chase. If you raise your prices just so you can pretend to offer a discount, well, that's pretty much the textbook definition of being misleading.
So yeah, no surprise here, the federal court totally agreed. Kogan's sale wasn't a real sale at all. It was just an illusion of savings. It was a clear-cut breach of the law, and they ended up with a massive fine for it.
Okay, so that's the fake discount. Now let's shift gears to our second big principle. This one's a bit different. It's less about a sneaky trick and way more about a serious imbalance of power. We're going to call it the unfair guarantee, but the legal term for it is unconscionable conduct.
Now this concept is much deeper. We're not just talking about being tricky anymore, we're talking about being predatory. Unconscionable conduct happens when someone in a powerful position knowingly takes advantage of another person's serious vulnerability, what the law calls a special disadvantage, just to benefit themselves. And that disadvantage could be anything: a language barrier, their age, illness, you name it.
And the story that really cemented this idea into Australian law is a famous one. It's a landmark case from way back in 1983, and it involves an elderly couple named the Amadios and their bank. This case really changed everything about how the law protects vulnerable people.
So let's paint a picture of what was happening. Mr. and Mrs. Amadio were elderly migrants from Italy. They didn't have strong English skills, and they certainly weren't business experts. They trusted their son, but more than that, they trusted the bank to do the right thing when they were asked to sign a guarantee for their son's business, which was not doing well. All these things together put them at a huge disadvantage.
I mean, just look at the power imbalance here. It was completely one-sided. You've got the Amadios on one side, completely vulnerable, and on the other, you've got the bank, holding all the information. The bank knew the son's business was about to go under, and this guarantee was incredibly risky. But they never properly explained that to the Amadios, even though they knew the couple had no real way of understanding the papers they were signing.
And that was the whole case right there. The High Court found that what the bank did was unconscionable. It was unacceptable. They were fully aware of the Amadios' special disadvantage, but they pushed the deal through anyway. They protected themselves without making sure the Amadios even knew they were about to lose everything.
Okay, so we've got these two major ideas on the table. We have deception and we have exploitation. But the real power for you as a consumer is knowing how they're different and when they might apply. Let's bring this all together.
So here's the bottom line. Deceptive conduct, like what Kogan did, is all about the lies. It's a smokescreen, a trick, designed to mislead an average person with false information. But unconscionable conduct, like in the Amadio case, is something else entirely. It's about exploitation. It's a rigged game where one side uses their power to crush someone they know is in a vulnerable position. At the end of the day, both of these legal shields, the one against lies and the one against exploitation, are absolutely fundamental parts of our consumer law. They're there to try and level the playing field to make sure everyone gets a fair go.
So next time you see a sale that just seems too good to be true, or you see a deal happening that just feels wrong, you'll know what you're looking at. Now that you know the signs, the real question isn't if you'll spot them, it's where.